Ross State Historic Park. My name is Sharon Vilnai and I am an Environmental Living Programs instructor with the Fort Ross Conservancy. And today we're going to be making cordage out of dogbane, which is a California native plant that's been used to make cordage for thousands of years. It makes very strong cordage, which is like a fine rope or string. And this has been harvested already a while ago, and the stalks of the dogbane here have been drying for a while. You don't want to use stalks that are still fresh. You want to find ones that have this nice reddish brown color, and then you let them dry out for a bit, and that makes the plant fibers easier to extract. And that's what you want. When you're making cordage, you want to extract the plant fibers, and then you're going to twist them up to make a really strong rope or cordage. So after my cordage stalks have dried, what I'm going to want to do is just take off the little extra twigs at the top here, the branches or where the seed pods were. Just like that. So I'm cleaning up my stalk just a little bit. And the fibers that I want to extract are really kind of in the skin of the stalk here. So I'm going to strip this a little bit to get at the fibers, but I want to be very gentle, because if I try to scrape this too hard, I will be cutting into the fibers and making my cordage material weaker. So I have a few different tools here that I can use to scrape just a little bit of this outer bark of the dogbane. And my favorite actually is just a mussel shell. These are some mussel shells that I collected a while back, and they're really nice tools for scraping. They're not too strong, and they seem to be kind of just the right tool. But if you want to use a scraper like this, it's kind of got its nice round curve here, and that's a nice thing for scraping bark. I've also got just a knife here, and I would use the back of this knife, not the serrated edge. This serrated edge here would be too sharp, and I'd be cutting too far into my fibers. But for today, we're going to be using just a mussel shell like this. And you want to do maybe 4 inches at a time, just very gentle. And you start to see a little bit of a lighter color underneath. So cordage is considered to be a very fundamental, very important technology because it was used for so many different things. Sandals, different kinds of clothing, for hunting tools, as a material in building houses, just a million different ways you can use cordage. So being able to know how to make it is a really great skill to have. I'm going to break off a little bit of the end here because it's very skinny, so there isn't going to be a lot of good fiber here. And now that I've scraped a little bit of the outer skin here, I'm going to have to crush this up just a little bit at different points along the stalk, just to break it up. So I'm just going to do like that, pinch it together between my thumb and forefinger every couple of inches. Kind of break into it a little bit with I've got a little bit of fingernail here. I could use a knife too, but I'm going to just open that up, and then it kind of opens up on itself, just a seam like that all the way through. And what you want when you open this is you want the one stalk to split into 4 different lengths. So you can see there's 4 segments here, and I just want that to go all the way along the length of my stalk. And that's going to make it easier to extract my fibers and twist them together. So now that I have my 4 segments here, what I want to do is finish the process of extracting the fibers from the stalk. And a lot of this is a woody material which runs along the inside. So I want to strip off that woody material from the fibers. So I'm going to hold these. I'm going to use my other hand to snap these down like that. And this you want to do very gently. It's very easy to break the fibers at this point. So you want to just gently peel away that woody bit like that, peeling it away. And I'm going to do that for the entire length of my dogbane stalk. And I want to try to do it in such a way where I'm not ripping away too much of my plant fibers. And you can see here, some of it's coming off, so I can slow down, be a little more gentle. Okay, so now that I've taken all the woody center off, I'm left with the plant fibers, and there's still a little bit of the outer skin in here. And if I wanted to make this really nice, I could twist a little bit and try to get a little bit of the skin to come off still. And you can see some of the chaff just falling away a little bit. Just gonna give it a twist. And actually the dogbane fibers are easier to work with when they're wet. So I'm gonna grab my bowl with a little water in it, get my hands a little wet here. If you were out in the woods, you didn't have water, you could always use your spit, wet the fibers that way. So now that I have kind of twisted along the entire length here and taken off some of that extra skin, I want to twist this up, which is going to make it easier to twist it into cordage, into a 2-ply cordage. So what I'm going to do, and I could do this on my thigh, but so you can see it here, I'm going to just roll this together, and I want to roll it all in the same direction, and that's going to make it a lot easier to turn into cordage. So we've twisted it, and now I'm going to put my thumb and forefinger right in the middle here, and so your whole length is going to be shortened by half, so you want to keep that in mind. You can always splice more fibers on this and make a longer piece, but for now we're just going to do a shorter piece. And so I've got this, and what I want to do is I want to take my thumb and forefinger and twist away from me, and my other thumb and forefinger I'm going to twist towards me. So these are twisting in the opposite direction, and I'm going to get enough tension going here that they're going to make a little loop like that. I'm holding at my little twisted loop here, and what I'm going to do is take one length and I'm going to twist it away from me, and then I'm going to move it on top. I'm going to cross it over, and then I have my other length is now further away, and I'm going to twist that away from me and then move that over. So I'm twisting and crossing, and in this way I'm not only twisting each individual half of the length of stalk here, but I'm also twisting these two halves together, and that creates this 2-ply cordage. So I've gone ahead and twisted both lengths all the way to the bottom, and now if you look closely you can see there's this 2-ply, so these two strands twisted together like that. And if I wanted to make this longer, I could go ahead and strip some more dogbane stalks and splice the fibers together. Just lay them together and keep twisting them and create as long of a piece of cordage as I want.